Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family beyond the binary, good evening and welcome to the grand finals of the UGC League Beginner Tournament for Overwatch. Tonight, we are here for Killshot Esports casting the grand finals between Insidious and Space Diamonds. Once again, my name is Warren Jungle God Hammond, and I am back on the mic once again with a Mintus Major. How you doing tonight, man?
I am very happy to be here for a lot of different reasons. First of all, glad to be casting with you once again. It's been a bit while since we've been on the mic together, live
Yeah.
on broadcast, and ever since Open Division together, I've been really craving some more of that juggle goodness. Second, UGC Grand Finals. This is a really big deal for both of these teams here, and they've been training, working hard for the past few months. It's been a very long, arduous process to get to this point. So both teams trying to capstone their performance so far in this season. And thirdly, I would like to add that it's a bit of a cathartic experience to watch UGC. This was a tournament I used to play in back when I was playing on
Really?
teams in Overwatch years ago. I think the team name I was under was something like UGC Spartans. Now this was back in like 2018, so
Right, right.
grandpa time, basically 3 years ago at this point. So really fun and interesting to see new blood coming up in the beginner tournament, and really excited to see both of these teams compete.
Yeah, as am I. I actually have a personal connection with Space Diamonds as well. Their off tank, Lucky J Fox, was on my very first Overwatch team, and this again would have been about 2 to 3 years ago. So yeah, I got quite a bit of history with him. So I'm excited to see him play. Happy to see he is doing so well, and yeah, excited to see what the rest of Space Diamonds brings. I think a couple of people that we really want to watch out for tonight on their side are Hugh and Toffee, the DPS duo. We're going to be looking at them to potentially pop off and make some big plays.
Absolutely. This was something that came from Lucky J Fox himself, kind of
Hmm.
talking up his own two DPS here. Hugh Janim and Toffee, will refer to him as Hugh, just for short. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have some very proficient DPS in their own right as well for Insidious, Hokage, and Edax. I'd say definitely where a lot of the standout players in the past times that I've spectated Insidious and casted their games, Hokage in particular, has kind of been that rock, that little, that last bastion of performance that Insidious really needs to push themselves over the edge sometimes. And it will be interesting to see how much progress the rest of Insidious has made around Hokage. And looks like everybody's given us the R signal. We are ready to get going into this series.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to be headed first to Nepal, so excited to see which submap we will be on, but lots of different compositions can be run here. Of course, you can run Brawl, especially on Village, but you can also see some ball comps, and with Demon Breed in the lineup, I am sure we are going to see Wrecking Ball make an appearance on at least one of these submaps.
Yep, the tank line of Insidious, notorious for their Ball Diva play, and Ball Sigma as well. Dr. Psychotic, not shy to show up in the kill feed with those massive self-destructs and gravitic fluxes. So
Yes.
really looking at Insidious's tank line as well as their DPS to start popping off here. Their backline, great in their own right, I'd say, but obviously support's just not that high of impact, at least from what we can see in the skies. So it'll be
Right.
interesting to see how they end up performing. Really, no news from the supports is good news, right? You want to just stay alive, do your job,
Yep.
and if you don't get kills, then you don't get kills. But really, the name of the game as support is staying alive. And it's interesting to see a new name for me, Blue Arceus. I believe that's going to be
Yes.
playing the main support. I haven't really seen them play for Insidious, so a new face for them in finals, fresh for basically everybody here in the
Now
casting booth. So
I have actually seen Blue Arceus play for them before, once or twice, but not very often. You're right. They aren't usually in the lineup, but like 1 or 2 games maybe for Insidious, they have been around. So I think you missed those ones.
probably, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. They do a good job. I remember some great plays from them in the past.
Good to hear, because to be honest, I think they're really going to need it. Clearly, on one side, Space Diamonds, very strong in their own right. And they're coming out of the gates on Brawl here with a double shield look. They've got this Sigma and Reinhardt, and they're going to be taking this top side here into the ball comp. They need to try to survive, maybe survive this initial dive, but if they can go past these first couple of moments and maybe take it to the objective onto Dr. Psychotic, things could look good for them.
Yeah, they certainly could, and already we see that they have pushed onto the point right now. rest of Insidious just kind of getting set up at the moment. Tracer, Hokage looking for something from the high ground. They're going to wait until it's almost capped, and then they're going to dive in. Oh, no, wait. They're actually going to wait and give this up to them. So they're looking for the right opportunity, and they're content to just give them a little time. Here comes Demon Breed. This will be the main engage right here. He gets stunned. Mayball comes out, traps him temporarily, but he's able to roll away. Still no picks for either side, but 12% already on the clock for Space Diamonds.
Early pick comes in from Edax. He gets that opening shot with the Pharah Rockets. Hokage to follow on Ananke. That's a 4v6 and no lamp, so very low defensive resources for the Brawl comp.
Yeah, that there are. And very quickly afterwards, the support falls as well. So this is going to be an easy, quick cleanup now for Insidious. They're going to take control, giving over just a little bit to Space Diamonds.
Yeah, not too bad. Only 40%. Typically, you see the Brawl comp take it up to about 50 or 60. They like to take multiple engages with that first control. And already you can see a full compositional swap going on from the Diamonds. They say, hey, we're not going to win on Brawl. Let's just take the L here and swap to a new composition. Basically mirroring across the board, excluding the Pharah versus the Echo duel.
Yeah, now that is going to potentially favor the Echo a little bit. That duel, it does tend to favor the Echo, but Edax has the barrage online. Fight breaking out on point now, or at least to the side of it. A couple of kills exchanged, 2 on either side. Both Toffee and Edax doing great job in the air. Anti-Nade comes out onto Demon Breed. They're going to be forced to back away just a little bit as the Nano is committed to Demon Breed now to keep them up and keep the point alive.
Shadow Curl going down late. Bear just getting staggered to hell and back here. This Diva has to get moved off the map. No ult charge over to anybody in particular, but 50% now for the side of Insidious, and that's going to favor them heavily because they only had to commit 2 ultimates, and they swapped Edax at the end of the day anyway, so 4 ults going into the next engage, lots of space controlling tools with this Diva Bomb, with the mines from the Wrecking Ball. Hokage going deep for the stick, but it doesn't land.
No, it doesn't. Dream Psychotic now with that self-destruct. They aren't able to find anybody, nor with the remech, but Hugh is able to take out Hobby. So no big heals now for Insidious, but the pick is equalized for them. So now it's a 5v5. Slam comes in from Lucky J Fox. He goes down though to Dream Psychotic. 85% now on the board for Insidious. This is going to be last fight territory very soon for Space Diamonds.
Oh, Toffee going down so late off of that late copy. After basically the entirety of Space Diamonds goes down, it has to be on Hugh and Lucky J Fox just a touch to have a chance. The stick lands onto Demon Breed, but no significant damage done yet.
No, there's not. And now with the mines on point from Demon Breed, it's going to make it so difficult for anyone from Space Diamond to touch. Somebody barely taps the corner, the back corner of the point. They're now dancing around outside it, but they just can't find an angle to get in. They get body blocked at the last moment. Dream Psychotic doing an excellent job keeping their huge frame in the way right there. And that's going to be 100-40 for Insidious.
They have a lot of experience on the side of Insidious with this ball composition, and you combine that with the significant ult advantage they accrued from winning that first fight in the long run. Once Space Diamonds decides to mirror that comp, without any ultimates to retake, it's just not going to work out for you consistently there. And already you can see the experience really paying dividends for Insidious with the composition. Demon Breed's ball there, basically uncontested. He was getting sticky by Hayu on the Tracer. Still not enough. Toffee goes to Echo. The focusing beam is typically pretty threatening for a Wrecking Ball. Not enough to end up taking him down. And at the end of the day, if nobody's really going down and you have point control, you can't lose.
Right, exactly. And that is eventually what happened. They just outlasted Space Diamonds. So now it's up to them to see if they can pull off the same magic. This time Space Diamonds rolling out with the mirror comp again. We see it completely mirrored actually this time. Down to the Echo. Demon Breed comes in for an engage, gets counter slammed by Lucky, but Edax is there to get a pick off onto Toffee. Now the picks start to come in again as Hugh is down as well, and Anke falls too, and this fight is over for Insidious.
Edax, calm down, buddy. You got 4 kills. You don't need to make it 5. Come on, leave him alone. Oh, Echo was disgusting on the first fight. Edax and Blue Arceus tag teaming in the skies, just dominating Space Diamonds on that first engage. And again, first control goes over to them, but we have to look at the rest of Insidious and how they contributed. Demon Breed's at 60% on these mines, and Right now, Lucky J Fox is just not having the same impact on Wrecking Ball. And when you have two very impactful dive heroes, your backline is safe and sound.
Yeah, that is true. They are. And now, Hokage just got this pulse bomb as well, so they're going to be looking for a target. Edax comes out again with a focusing beam onto Toffee. Toffee goes down low, but they are healed back up. Pulse bomb out, misses anything this time around, but the kill actually from Hugh onto Javi could spell trouble for Insidious. Can Blue Arceus get the res off? That's the question. It looks like they are going to be able to. So Insidious back up to 6.
Edax with this copy, looking to drop it onto somebody. Bear's out of mech right now, so he has to go for someone else. Gets the Ana instead. With this nano boost, I mean, the extra sustain, now that your Mercy's gone, might come in handy, but it's getting focused out by Toffee, and that copy goes to waste.
Yeah, that it does. The remake kill comes in as well onto Hokage. Javi down as well. And now, with Space Diamonds really in control here, it is just up to Insidious to try and stall things out. Here comes the self-destruct from Dream Psychotic. They've been in big in the past, and they catch up Shadow Carl. Shadow Carl unable to get out of the way quick enough, but the res does come through for both sides. So both teams back up to a pretty healthy standing. The mines come out from Demon Breed, and they're going to make things so much more difficult now for Space Diamonds. As already we see Hugh Pick losing out that Tracer duel. Demon Breed gets a kill with the mines onto Toffee, but Dream Psychotic falls in the process. And now, Insidious pushing back against Space Diamonds. They're going to make them back off with 90% captured.
They've held capture percentage this whole time. Lucky J Fox with his first minefield of the series has to drop it 1v6. There's nobody else to support him on this objective. He's just buying time for someone to get back. They actually get the trade kill on the Blue Arceus. This is looking good for the Diamonds.
Yeah, that it is. As long as they can survive this self-destruct. From there, it doesn't catch anybody, but Demon Breed and Hokage coming back in big for Insidious. They're turning things around. The Nano Boost also committed to Edax, and they have the duplicate if they even need a little bit more. But at this point, it doesn't look like they will, and that's going to do it. 100-0 on the second map of Nepal for Insidious.
Sorry, Space Diamonds, but Insidious has been playing this composition since day one. They know what they're doing here. They know how to counter Brawl. They know how to take the mirror, and it shows in the results. 140 on the first submap, 100-0 on the second, and already Insidious is putting their name down as somebody to watch in this map. And even in the spite of both of the DPS of Space Diamonds doing a lot of work, Toffee and Hokage, it just wasn't enough to overcome a lot of the past lessons that I feel like Insidious has learned from their previous matches.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You know, just the smoothness with which they operated this composition really shows how comfortable they are with it. And I think that Space Diamonds, they're going to have to look for something completely different at this point. You know, maybe we see them try and come out with a double shield. I know that Lucky has a very good Sigma.
Very true. I think double shield is a great counter to the ball composition, mainly because it shuts out the ball. When you're playing Wrecking Ball into double shield, typically you're going to see a Bap Brig, maybe even a Brig Zen in some cases, or sorry, a Bap Zen. Generally speaking, you're going to have to deal with a lot more threat directed at you as compared to the DPS or the supports. So if Space Diamonds wants to pivot towards something that shuts out the tank line, which again, in the past has been something that's worked for teams against Insidious before, maybe we see something like Rialto, where double shield is definitely playable.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what we are going to see here. I would put money down on it. I'd put my Space Diamonds on them coming out with a double shield. If I had, I don't even know what that would be. Anyway, it looks like you have an idea, Mentos.
I'm thinking maybe like stuck inside of a like a comet and it crashes down. You're like, wow,
yeah,
diamonds from space. But I can't even think if that is that a thing that happens. I'm not really sure if it does. I know that there's like iron that comes down from meteors.
Yeah.
Random fact I just learned yesterday. Apparently, King Tut's dagger was made out of meteoric iron.
What?
Very specific, quotable that just came out of nowhere. Like literally, I never thought this information would be useful. Nonetheless, Space Diamond's trying to make some of that magic happen here. Going towards Rialto, like we talked about. I think Double Shield is definitely playable here, but Insidious, should they be able to get through the first point, I think they're going to have a really easy time with it. Double Shield, needs time to set up and really get a good defensive hold going. And if you can disrupt that, send Demon Breed, send Hokage and Edax on those surrounding periphery angles and set something up to push that double shield stack, it's doable. All you've got to do is take that time initially to get going and put yourself in the right space to succeed in the ensuing fight. So it's really going to be all about the setup here for Insidious. If they're able to get through undetected, unpressured, they'll be able to set up a really good dive into double shield if that's what Space Diamonds comes out of the gate with.
Yeah, that is a good point. And I think, yep, that is exactly what we are seeing so far from Space Diamonds. And they are on the defense first. Toffee coming out on the Torb. I like this as well. That's really going to discourage a lot of flankers.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be about if Insidious can scout this Torbjorn, find the turret, spam it out from a distance, and then allow Demon Breed and potentially any other flankers that join him to go on that angle and take an attack into the stack without having to worry about that extraneous damage coming in. They're going to have an easy time with it. And in general, if you look at everybody on Insidious's composition, there are a lot of threats you're going to have to worry about. Once those shields go down, Javi's got the nade. Demon Breed can roll through and push people off of high grounds. If Dr. Psychotic gets a lot of charge, he's going to be a threat once the shields disappear. Hokage and Edax are always layering in damage. There is a lot of fires to put out on the side of Space Diamonds if they want to win this.
Yeah, there certainly are. And already we see Demon Breed rolling through the back now, thinking about starting one of those fires right now. Shadow Carl looking for it, but eventually moves. There's the boot right onto Shadow Carl. That is a fantastic pick. Goes down immediately to that focusing beam. They weren't even able to get out the immortality field in time. And even though Blue Arceus is down, this is looking so good right now for Insidious. They're able to take Toffee out of the fight as well. And Demon Breed is just popping, doing a masterclass here and playing Wrecking Ball on Rialto.
You know, you got to look at it on K though. Has that angle covered on the staircase with the third person enabled from the Brig shield. Still misses the bash. And that boop is what results in what we see on our screens. Demon Breed popping off. If you're not able to shut out this Wrecking Ball, even with all the tools in your toolbox that you can use, I mean, what more can you do?
Yeah, exactly. And here he comes right back in. The bubble comes in to protect him for just a minute from Dream Psychotic. This cart, though, nobody touches it. And they're just going to give it up. And now Insidious pushing forward very quickly. Insidious all the way in the backline. Going to get a health pack now. Hulk comes in from Bear, but doesn't catch anybody. Demon Breed on point, putting a lot of damage into Lucky J Fox. And there's the minefield. It catches with Nante in it. And even though Toffee gets the boot, the rest of Insidious is there to finish the job that he started.
These tanks on Insidious are just running rampant over Space Diamonds right now. Dr. Psychotic taking all of that pressure that Demon Breed is applying and really putting it to use by lasering down any tank that stands in front of him. The front line of Space Diamonds just evaporates while Demon Breed attacks the back line. And when both fronts are covered, there's nothing else you have to worry about, and you're going to see these massive time banks.
Yes, you are. Here comes a grab as well. The Dragons layered in. They just barely missed. Not quite catching anybody. Immortality field pulled out, though, by Shadow Carl. And now, Insidious getting the card just about here to this corner. This is a very tough corner to go around, but Demon Breed slams around through the back. Bob is committed now from Hugh. Duplicate comes in now from Edax onto the Diva, so they're going to be able to throw in a self-destruct here very soon. There it comes in, it catches two! It gets the main support and Lucky on the off tank as well. The res comes in and Hokage starts, just finishes everything off. The last man on point, but that's not going to be nearly enough.
I mean, there's just no way back into these fights for Space Diamonds. You got ults, doesn't matter. You're going to get bombed by the copy. If you get an advantage pick-wise, there's a res. It's always going to come through, and it's in a safe enough position because they're playing a comp that wants to be split, whereas the stacked team has to play together, and any dead bodies are going to be out way too far for a res. Ananke just not able to find purchase and pocket Toffee hard enough here, so it's going to have to be off the back of the DPS once again for Space Diamonds. They performed in the past, but can they do it again?
Let's see if they can. The amplification matrix, or rather the Bongo's out now, but they are quickly destroyed. Picks on both sides. It is a 4v4 on point, but Demon Breed and Hokage Edax going very aggressive right now. The mine's causing a lot of problems, but they're going to be cleared up in just a second with this self-destruct. Demon Breed able to get Hugh, though, on that Tracer, and this cart is getting dangerously close now to capture.
Edax not stopping, gets the focusing beam onto Ananke, so it's a 5v6 as the cart continues forward. Dr. Psychotic at 70% on this graph. Hokage with the Dragon Strike. They need a combo to finish this.
Yeah, let's see if they can pull it out. They definitely do have something in store. Here comes the duplicate. Once again, onto the Diva. Hokage, though, already getting a lot of picks. This card is just inches away from completion now. There's nobody hardly left to touch. Hugh comes in for a last moment heroics, but they have to recall away, and it's not enough. Insidious caps with almost 4 minutes in the time bank.
This is lightning fast from Insidious. Yeah. This is a speed run and a half right here. And, you know, this is a talking point we like to cover a lot when we cast together, but Juggle, I know you love to see things go quickly, but I don't think Space Diamonds fans want this to go that fast.
No, I don't think they do.
This is just ludicrous at this point because already we saw the dominance on control. As we go towards Escort, you're thinking, okay, the ball's now in Space Diamonds court. They can control the environment that we're playing on here, and they get stumped. 3 minutes and 56 seconds for Insidious on their attack. I mean, you can't ask for more as an Insidious fan right now.
No, you certainly can't. And I think they've got the tools ready to put together a solid hold here on first point as well. Looks like they're not opting for exactly what we saw from Space Diamonds, though. We're going for 1 shield, but not quite 2.
I actually do like this adaptation because with Dr. Psychotic on this Diva, you're going to have the chance to jump up and down from the high ground and contest the objective without threatening losing your backline behind you. You're going to have the ability to fly back and forth, use the Matrix to peel should a dive come through from the side of Space Diamonds, and we can already see in Spawn that they're pivoting towards the dive as well. Nonetheless, I think this adaptation from Insidious is going to go a long way, and it's really about how Space Diamond scouts it and tries to counter it out, because yes, this is a very strong composition when it comes to holding first point, but like we saw on Insidious's attack, if the dive gets going, if they get momentum and ult advantage, they're not going to stop.
Yeah, that is very true, and the ults that they are going to be looking to build up are certainly going to be this nano boost from Shadow Carl. That's the one I think they want to get online first, using Bear as the kind of sacrificial lamb, as it were. Ult comes out, doesn't really catch anything from Demon Breed, and now Tank starting to engage very close to the point. Bear able to dodge some of those rockets coming in from Edax, and now the cart is stopping here right on this first corner, just where it usually does. Flank comes in, but the dynamite is there onto Bear. Dream Psychotic able to push them out and get the kill. So now there's no main tank for Space Diamonds, but they're going to try and continue pushing, but Toffee is out now. So with 2 members down, this is surely, I think, a moment to regroup.
I think this is just a team-wide difference here, Juggle. Insidious is playing lights out, and everybody on Space Diamonds is looking lost. Bear gets pushed by the Diva alone and dies. Toffee loses the translocator and has to try to use it mid-fight just to escape, and then dies. Hugh has been stuck on this bridge behind everybody on Insidious for minutes now. It's been 1 minute and 15 seconds, and nothing has really happened for the dive comp yet.
No, you're right. They've finally taken control of this high ground now, though, but who are they going to dive on? Everybody from Insidious is playing too far away for them to really have an obvious target. Ananke out of the fight already, too. That's a really good for Insidious. Here comes my. Lucky removed from the fight. Bear removed from the fight. No tanks at all anymore for Space Diamonds, and they're going to have to regroup and try again.
I mean, this dive comp has 0 inroads to these fights because yes, you can set up a dive on this backline, but look at how far away Javi is playing from everybody. He is literally in Narnia right now, playing in the corner, well behind the Orisa of Demon Breed. So Edax and Blue Arceus are taking all the space, and there's no hit scan threat outside of Shadow Carl, who admittedly has been landing shots, but has been stuck inside of rooms this entire time. Edax and Blue Arceus ruling the skies, and now it's Bear that has to open.
Yeah, and they open with a nano boost. Javi going down very low. They might be able to get him, but there is a pocket for the 9K. I can't believe he's still there. Javi eventually taken out by Toffee, and now the DPS duo of Space Diamond starting to gain some traction here as the cart is just about ready to get to this first corner of, or rather this last corner of first point.
Late bomb comes in from Dr. Psychotic, but Hayu, with all of this freedom purchased by Bear with that Nano Winston, putting it to full effect. It's a lot of good picks. It's going to open things up for their team here. Space Diamonds finally gaining some, like you mentioned, traction back in this series. And realistically, this has been the first fight that they've won in probably 10 or 15 minutes of gameplay. So they're going to be very grateful for it. Now that they've got, a little bit of positioning for their dive core with the Winston Tracer on the right, they've got the EMP from Toffee. It's not looking too bad for them.
No, it's really not, although Demon Breed has other ideas with that supercharger out from Arisa. Now the rest of Space Diamonds, they just kind of have to wait for an opening. They have to wait for this to come out, but no, they decide to go in. Fusion, though, pays for it with their life. The pick does come out onto Hokage, and the res is in this time, so things are looking very good now for Space Diamonds. The Primal Rage as well from Bear doing a lot of work. Demon Breed finally falling. And this card getting around the first corner of Streets phase, Rialto.
I really do feel like it comes off of the back of not having too much pressure on your backline this time. Shadow Carl and Ananke having a lot more freedom now that Bear has that nano boost. And now Shadow Carl will be able to cycle that ultimate onto the Winston pretty consistently, which is going to allow this sort of ebb and flow where one fight you've got the nano and the next you've got the primal. This is what I was talking about with control with the dive bomb.
Yeah, and they look like Insidious looks like they want to come back. Lucky, though, with a huge Diva Bomb. Takes out two. Eugen with the Pulse Bomb as well, and that's going to be a fast team wipe for Space Diamonds.
They're not ready to give up, though. Looks like Insidious gets a couple trade picks. Hokage goes down late, but Dr. Psychotic is buying time on this objective. 4 people down for Space Diamonds, and this recontest is sure to follow.
Yeah, now the self-destruct on point clears people away temporarily, gives even more time for Insidious to regroup. Demon Breed gets the pick onto Hugh, and now Space Diamond's forced to back off.
They've got the EMP from Toffee, though. Minute 50 on the clock. They've basically got 2 good pushes remaining. Eugen, a little bit late, coming through now on the bridge, but Edax has this copy. They have to get it out before the EMP.
Yeah, they certainly do. Hokage, though, gets a pick onto Bear, so already things looking good for Insidious. An anti comes in, that biotic grenade, taking away any of the healing that Blue Arceus could do onto Hokage. But the rest of Space Diamond's busy taking care of the res. Edax comes in, though, with a pick onto Ananke right on the tail end of Hokage getting a pick as well. And now, Insidious pushing very far forward.
Toffee with the confused Travolta, just chilling in stealth behind everybody, like, why is no one coming here? I'm ready to EMP, guys, let's get going. But everybody is just dying around him. And Lucky J Fox is right next to him, wondering the same thing. It feels like this 4v6 that's happening on the front line is just ignoring the dive core from Space Diamond. So Insidious, with a great recognition of how to take these fights in an aggressive way, while also still playing defensive enough to prevent this EMP.
Yeah, excellent work from them. Really quite the tight wire act that they had to walk right there, but they did it expertly. And now they've got 2 sources of danger coming in on them, this EMP and the Pulse Bomb. Lucky J Fox slams down on point to get things started for Space Diamonds. Duplicate comes in. Here's the EMP. It catches out 4, but Edax is there with the duplicated Winston. Primally now. Hugh, though, does find the pick onto Hokage, so now one of the carries from Insidious out of this fight. Dream Psychotic, though, able to get the revenge kill, so now it is a 5v5 on point. But Insidious pushing them away very, very quickly from the cart. And there's less than 10 seconds left.
There's only one final fight on this second point. It's going to have to be on Space Diamonds to make something happen with this Nano Primal combo. The Bob comes out late, so it's stalling, but Hobby's under trouble.
Yeah, can he survive under this onslaught that is getting put onto him by Bear? Bear actually switches targets, goes over to Hokage, able to find a little bit more luck there. Self-destruct comes out from Dream Psychotic, and it's big! The entire support line of Space Diamond's out, and this is gonna be Insidious going up 2-0.
There is 0 weaknesses for Insidious. 0 breaks in the armor, it feels like. Nothing is not landing. Every single punch hits, the bombs, the mines, every cooldown landing where it needs to, and it's all off the back of these DPS, it feels like. The more damage that Edax and Hokage continue to pump in throughout these fights, the more it frees up the tanks and the supports to do their job, and it feels like another day at the office for this team.
Yeah, it really does. They are playing out of their minds right now. Good. I mean, they at this point, I feel like they've tried Space Diamonds. They've tried the rock, paper, scissors, right? They've tried the brawl, the double shield, and the dive comp, and nothing quite seems to be working for them. They have to find an answer to this. to this ball comp from Insidious.
And I really do think that it's not just the fact that none of the comps are working, it's that the playstyles that they're opting to go into are also not working. They're going for something a little bit slower. They want to go towards that Sombra style where you have that get out of jail free card with your EMP. But the problem is you're relinquishing a lot of neutral strength with that choice. As compared to the Echo with the Mercy Pocket on Edax, it's just so much upfront damage, stall potential. It really just punctures through all of the plans of Space Diamonds. And even when some of those trade kills start happening for Space Diamonds, Insidious just comes right back with the spawn advantage. And really, it feels like not only is their play in their favor, but every single circumstance is favoring them as well.
Yeah, they're doing such an excellent job, I think, of getting their team back to fights that look like they should be lost. But they're able to stall out long enough to completely regroup. There was some excellent plays there on Street Space from Insidious right at the end there where they were able to hold where, who was it? Blue Arceus and Dream Psychotic both came in and were able to stall out long enough for Demon Breed to get back. And then one more member, I can't remember exactly who, but they're just playing very, very intelligently. They have purpose with every single thing that they're doing.
And they're not breaking a sweat either. I mean, it's just been lights out the whole way through, like we talked about. And when everybody is on point, when all cylinders are firing here, there's just not a lot of ways to come back for Space Diamonds. I mean, you would have to literally just team wipe them repeatedly over and over to take some momentum back here. And at this point, I just don't feel like it's in the cards, even as we go towards Eichenwald, which, in my opinion, doesn't really favor Wrecking Ball. It's forcing you down a lot of singular lanes that can be covered pretty easily. So maybe Demon Breed gets forced out of his comfort zone here. We got a bit of a swap coming in for Insidious as well. Short Stacked is in for Blue Arceus, so probably going to see a bit of a different hero pool, likely. Maybe less Mercy, maybe some more Brig or Baptiste. Nonetheless, I think Insidious comes into this next map choice with a good game plan. They've clearly got something planned.
Yeah, they certainly do. And they can smell victory. It is right there in front of them. It is tantalizingly close. There is just one German landscape in their way. And we are headed into the map right now. And we once again have Space Diamonds on defense first.
With side selection, I really do love what Insidious has decided to go towards. Rather than a more traditional dominating on defense style, they're setting the pace. They're saying, hey, you've got to get it to this point with this much time remaining if you want to have a chance. And so far, it's just been such a demoralizing weight on the shoulders of a lot of these Space Diamonds players, because think about what's going through their heads. This is the finals. You're down 2-0 or you're down 1-0 and you've got a cap with 4 minutes left just to have a decent chance in these maps.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge mental load to always carry around in these team fights. And I mean, clearly not going to be the same on the side of Insidious.
No, exactly not. And Insidious, speaking about being the same on the side of them, they are looking at somewhat of a mirror comp coming in, at least with the Rhine Diva. So Demon Breed excellent on the Reinhardt as well. So I'll be curious to see how it plays up against Bears, though.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've casted a Brawl Mirror, it feels like. I think the last time this was happening was probably months ago when everybody in Overwatch League just kind of defaulted to the Brawl comp. Nowadays, there's a lot more variety and a lot more swaps. On first point, though, I think Brawl is a great choice, and if Hokage chooses to stay on the Symmetra, it's going to give Insidious a lot of flexibility with their positioning. They can choose, okay, do we want to take things front to back, or do we want to get a little bit spicy with it?
Yeah, exactly. And if I know Insidious, I think they're going to be playing spicy with it. Teleport comes in to get around the choke very, very quickly. They're already on point, swinging their hammer to and fro. At least Demon Breed is. He goes down very low, though. He might be removed from the fight. The healer's doing an excellent job of keeping them up, though. And now Hokage's beam really starting to buzz right now. That has to be terrifying for Bear to try and push into. But, both main tanks are now removed from the fight. So 5v5 on point with no shields in the way. And now with Short Stack popping that window, there's nothing in the way to stop these supercharged bullets from entering their targets on Space Diamond's side. The fight isn't over yet. Space Diamond's giving it their all. Shadow trying to stay alive. They've almost got their window. The blizzard comes in from here, though. That's going to slow things down. And in fact, Space Diamonds are able to retake the point with a pick onto Short Stack and Demon Breed, sealing the deal.
That's a bit of a head scratcher for me. You typically consider Symmetra as a great character for getting out of the spawn and coming back to fights quickly. even though Hokage goes down in that mid fight, the TP just doesn't come out in time, and the recontest is just slightly better for Space Diamond. So, interesting choice from the side of Insidious to go for this mirror in the first place. Even though Wrecking Ball is a little bit more difficult to play here, I feel like it was just such a stark contrast in terms of how well the teams were performing, regardless of the map. But nonetheless, both teams opting into the mirror, and with ult advantage, maybe Insidious has a better chance.
Yeah, let's see if they do. They do have the sound barrier, which could allow them to go aggressive. Stun comes in, though. Shatter is able to catch a couple. There is the sound barrier, though, from Hobby to keep them up. Blizzard in now, this time from Edax. And there's the self-destruct from Lucky J Fox. It catches out Hobby, and now with both supports down, Insidious, they're left scratching their heads.
Oh, man. Blinking, you miss it there, but Toffee with the clutchest play on McCree I think I've ever seen. Ananke gets pinned right before he drops the beat, right? And normally you think, okay, well, the Lucio's gone. There's no beat on the field anymore. It's over. Toffee stuns out Demon Breed before the pin completes. That allows Ananke to complete the sound barrier and keep everybody alive long enough to get the rest of their ults out. So props to Toffee for keeping his team alive on this first point and burning more time off the clock. And already we see Insidious going for a full pivot back to what worked previously.
Yeah, it looks like they are going back to the comfort picks, even though the map might not be ideal. Here comes the slam in from Demon Breed. Toffee removed from the fight almost immediately by Edax. Anti-Nate as well onto many of the members of the team. Shadow Carl has to use that immortality, but it doesn't save his life. And he had an amplification matrix too. It looks like Insidious is back to their old selves in this composition.
Well, you know what they say, Juggle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just let Edax pop the hell off on Pharah. Get those barrages, layer them in. Just so much upfront damage combined with the nades from short stack. Naturally, the selection of players here is a little bit awkward because previously we did see Javi on the Ana, and I believe it was their Mercy player. But now the roles have swapped. Javi has decided to take the bullet for the team. Pocket Edax on Mercy. Nonetheless, I think this is a much better look for them. They're finally playing comfortable once again.
Yeah, they are, and once again, you know, Space Diamonds, they just look lost. Here comes Demon Breed in for a slam. He gets booped away by Lucky J Fox, but Edax is able to get the pick on the Toffee. So once again, they're removed from the fight first. And now Insidious can just push forward with impunity. Shadow Girl drops that amplification matrix. The Shatter comes in from there, and this is turned around. Oh no, it hasn't. Hokage and Edax doing tremendous work. The DPS duo from Insidious clearing away the cart and allowing it to get moving again.
And on the last map on Rialta, we saw what happened when Edax and the Mercy Pocket was just left uncontested. And now, with Toffee going down first in a lot of these fights, there's nobody left to force out this far in the skies. No hit scan, even Shadow Curl swapping to Ana and Lucky J Fox still in mech is not enough to overcome this damage. Demon Breed taking it to the doors, and Ananke dies mid-beat. Oh no.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible for Space Diamonds. Toffee pops the Deadeye to try and buy them some time and space, maybe to try and regroup. But Edax once again with the kill onto Toffee. Toffee just unable to deal with the Pharah from Insidious.
It's so far away, which I think is really key. The hit scan nerfs with the fall-off damage decrease, it's just too much to overcome because Edax can just play across the map and spam those rockets, which, like we talked about, no fall-off. Short stacks getting pressured out by Hayu on the bridge, but it's Lucky J Fox that opens things up.
Yeah, big pick right there. That's going to open the floodgates for Space Diamonds. The Reddit does come in onto Edax, but Space Diamonds firmly in control at this point, and they're going to push back Insidious.
Edax just trying his little heart out with Hobby's Valkyrie to assist, but not enough to overcome that opening bomb from Lucky. And in honesty, like, it just makes a lot of sense. Now that there's a momentum in the side of Space Diamonds, all they really have to do is get a nice fight-clearing ultimate like the self-destruct from D.Va and start to take some momentum back. They've got Bear on this Orisa, which is going to allow them to have a lot more static strength on this last point of second. And having that amount of static strength is going to be very difficult to remove up until Insidious gets ultimates, and they are a bit away here. The closest one is Demon Breed with these mines at 68.
Yeah, he'll probably be able to get them this fight, maybe even almost off this one engage. Ooh, he does have to move away, though. The roll comes through. He's almost there to his mines now, and so is Edax with this barrage. But Hokage removed from the fight by Hugh. There's 30 seconds left, and now Space Diamonds looking like they might be primed to hold here.
Looks like the strategy to counter what Insidious was throwing at them was to remove a lot of the supporting pieces. Hokage on this trace were kind of getting exposed by Hugh, and this is something we talked about at the beginning of the series. Hugh and Toffee were the difference makers for Space Diamonds in the past, and it's coming true once again. 8 seconds left. Insidious has to put something together, and previously it was the barrages from Edax. He's going to get a nano from short stack this time.
And here they start out with a minefield from
Demon
Breed. Oh, Edax gets shut out. You able to take them out of the fight. The self-destruct from Lucky J Fox again, temporarily clearing the point. Toffee takes out Demon Breed. And now with the supercharger on point, there's little to no hope for Insidious to try and make something happen. Short stack doing everything they can, but they're only a little Ana, and there's only so much they can do. Dream Psychotic does come in big with a pick onto a non-K, but that's gonna do it. Space Diamonds hold right here at the bridge on Eichenwald.
It's just too little too late from Insidious. They tried to call the bluff of Space Diamonds by mirroring Brawl out of the gates. They didn't feel confident enough to play ball on first, and in spite of it, it still worked extremely well on first. So you gotta really wonder, had Insidious started on that composition, would they have been able to go a little bit further? Potentially. But no time for hypotheticals here. This is the finals. We're living in the moment from here on out, and at this very moment, it feels like Space Diamonds has found some control once again. They found a composition that works a little bit better for them, and even though it did not work on the first map of the series, I believe it was Nepal, now that they have pivoted towards Eichenwald, this Orisa Diva is actually finding some success.
Yeah, it certainly is. But it looks like they're gonna maybe go over to a Brawl composition to try and crack this defense that Insidious is going to be coming out with. Insidious going for the Orisa Ball composition. I feel like I saw Sungdu Hunters play this at some point.
Oh yeah, this is a wacky one for sure, and it's something you don't typically consider when you're thinking about compositions. Double main tank, what's this about? But Orisa with the static strength, whereas Wrecking Ball has that mobility to follow up on poke damage coming out from Hokage and Edax. So he's kind of the agent of destruction, so to speak. He is the one finishing a lot of the kills that Hokage, Edax, and Dr. Psychotic are going to set up for him. So problem is, once Demon Breed gets forced out, at the end of the day, all Insidious has left is poke. So once the Brawl reaches you, it's looking a little bit dicey. So Insidious has to have a good idea on how they want to take fights against Brawl here.
Yeah, they're probably going to want to take them early. If we already see Edax removed from the fight by Toffee, and now the freeze is coming out as well onto Demon Breed. Javi removed too very quickly. This looks like it might be a very fast point take for Space Diamonds. They are coming back in this match with a vengeance.
They do not want to give this up that easily. They saw the 2-0, the backs were against the wall, and they said, no, we are not giving up. We're going to give this one everything we've got, and it's paying off for them. They've got 6 minutes after first. I mean, I'm looking at my watch here. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, that certainly is. This is very, very doable for Space Diamonds. And now, Insidious back onto this dive comp that seems to have worked so well for them. Dream Psychotic opting away from that Orisa.
Toffee has to be the difference maker once again. If he can shut out Edax and Javi in the sky, the Brawl comp has a good chance. But in the meantime, everybody else has been falling around them inside of the castle. This is a fight on 2 fronts, and it feels like Space Diamonds are not winning either.
No, they aren't at this moment. Demon Breed chasing furiously the rest of the members of Space Diamonds down into the depths of this castle on Eichenwald. The fight has moved back onto the point where Toffee is trying to get some momentum going. They were able to remove Demon Breed from the fight, but it's not going to be quite enough. Dragon Strike coming in from Hokage, maybe just to clear away some space for Insidious to regroup.
Arrow went down to about 50 HP there, so almost worked out for Hokage, but not at the end. Nonetheless, the Brawl comp has to retake against the barrage from Edax, and in the past, this has been the key for opening things up, but a nice high noon from Coffee prevents it.
Yeah, that is going to, as Javi also had that Valkyrie ready to go too. Demon Breed trying to get something going on point, maybe getting a pick to try and equalize here. But they're removed from the fight very quickly. Toffee has Edax's number, and now with 4.5 minutes, there's just one last corner and a straightaway for the Space Diamonds to get around before they make a series out of this match.
The trend here has been when Toffee stays alive, he can actually shut out the Pharah. But now, there is no Pharah left on the field. Edax swaps to Tracer to try to be the hero in these last moments of Eichenwald. 4 minutes on the clock for the attack, and the window from Shadow Carl is going to make it so hard to contest.
that it is. We see Demon Breaches going in there as quick as they can. The Sound Berry comes in from a non-K, and that's going to let them get this so close. Just 1.5 meters left. Hugh doing tremendous work on the Tracer. The members of Insidious falling like flies now. Edax gets one pick on the Shadow, but is it going to be enough? No, it is not. And this series is going 2-1 now. Space Diamonds clawing their way back in.
Let's go. We got a competitive match on our hands, Juggle. I've been waiting to see one of these all day, personally, so happy to see that both of these teams are fighting for their lives in the UGC finals. There's a lot on the line here. We talked about it at the beginning. The stakes are higher than ever in this match, so not surprising to see some plays like this coming out from Lucky J Fox. That bomb was basically the turning point of the match.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I gotta be honest, I've seen Lucky play before, and that isn't just luck. That man is skilled on his tanks. So happy to see him having some success here in the UGC finals. And I'm gonna be curious now to see what map we go to. What is gonna be the map choice that Insidious is gonna pick to try and seal the deal here?
Well, there's a lot of different options. The only game type that we haven't seen so far is Assault 2CP, as it's colloquially referred to, and I think a lot of the 2CP maps, I'd say about 2 out of 3, excluding Anubis, on at the very least Hanamura and I believe it's Volskaya, Wrecking Ball is definitely playable, right?
Yes.
I think it is a great option to have on attack or defense for both of those maps, whereas basically all that Insidious has to do is put themselves in a good space to actually get some value out of these heroes, particularly Edax on that Pharah or Echo. I'm so kind of surprised to see him staying on that Pharah, considering how much Space Diamonds changed their playstyle to try to deal with Pharah in particular. Nonetheless, hopefully we're going to see a bit of an adaptation for them. Looks like sides have been selected. Insidious is going to be defending, Space Diamonds attacking, which I believe is incorrect, actually. I think Insidious selects the map here. Not sure what's going to happen there. Nonetheless, Insidious needs to make some adaptations already in this series because Space Diamonds is doing it in the face of a lot of adversity. They've not cracked under pressure, so to speak. I'd say they've actually taken that pressure and redoubled it back towards Insidious by coming out of the gates with a brawl comp that didn't work in the past, but now is actually getting a lot of value.
Yeah, it really is. And well, as Insidious, we're looking, very, very smooth and coordinated. Now it's the opposite. Space Diamonds have that look. And you know what? I think you're absolutely right. They've been hardened in this fight, and they have figured things out. And they are coming back with a vengeance. So, really excited to see if they can take us to a map 5. They're going to be gunning for this reverse sweep.
They have to. I mean, there's no other option at the end of the day. You either win or you die in these finals. And Space Diamonds is not ready to lose it just yet. They have found something that works, which is really important, right? Because a lot of times when you're trying to make that comeback in the series, the hardest part is starting. Right? And once you get that foothold, once you find something that is consistently making the difference in these fights, particularly the individual performances from Hugh and Toffee, I think have been a lot of what Space Diamonds has needed to allow players like Bear, like Lucky, and like the supports of Shadow and Ananke to actually find some purchase in these fights. So again, like we talked about at the beginning, it's off of Hugh and Toffee. So maybe Insidious figures this out, realizes it, and starts to pivot towards something that can shut out the DPS in particular.
Yeah, I think that's a great, a great point. When Edax was getting those early fight picks onto Toffee, it was almost as if Space Diamonds didn't have anything in their back pocket once he was gone out of the fight. And now that he's the one getting the first picks on Insidious, it's certainly turned the tables.
The trend is clear. The DPS that lives longer tends to be the one that makes the difference, right? Previously on the first 2 maps, Hokage and Edax were having a breeze of a time with it. Pretty much shutting out Hugh and Toffee at every turn. And now the pressure has flipped back around. Once again, we are pivoting to a new map. We're going to Volskaya Industries, and this is one that I kind of expected. I think between all of the 3 2CP maps that are selectable here, it makes the most sense for Insidious to go to this map just because it favors that Wrecking Ball style a lot more than the other 2.
Yeah, it certainly does. And like you said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Insidious definitely playing to their strengths here. And Space Diamonds has to know it. So I'm going to anticipate seeing some pretty hard counters to the ball come out and to the Pharah as well.
Well, regardless of what the players select, I think it really is going to come down to execution at the end of the day, because that's been what's gotten Space Diamonds back in this series. Their DPS executed on their plans put themselves in the right spots to perform mechanically and succeeded. So we need to see some more of that, not only aggressive play style coming out from the DPS of Hugh and Toffee, but just putting themselves in the right spots to perform. I think it's really important that you need to know when to go deep and when to play safe, right? It's all dependent on the circumstance. And now the circumstances are changing. We're going to Volskaya. This is a long map with a lot of different rotations that the attacking team can take. And I'll be very intrigued to see what Space Diamonds comes out of the gate with and where they decide to go.
Yeah, especially because it looks like Insidious has opted to the Brawl composition on this first defense. Going with the Torb as well.
So
yeah, very interesting.
To me, this tells me that they're not exactly confident in the ball comp anymore. They want to rely on something that's maybe a little bit more suited towards their team play style, because they're losing a lot of these duels, like we talked about. The mechanics are clearly favoring Space Diamonds, at the very least on the last map. Hugh and Toffee popping off. So now they're pivoting towards Brawl, and this is going to allow them to play together and potentially distract Space Diamonds from some more valuable targets, like this Torbjorn turret chilling on the Mega on left.
Right, exactly. If they can keep their focus elsewhere, then that turret can get a lot of value in a very short amount of time. And coming out with the dive composition this time, Space Diamonds. So, already Fire Strike eaten by Lucky. They're going to rotate into the right side here from the attacker's perspective. And Insidious rotating to meet them. The May Ball comes out, and now there's a little Sombra dealing some damage, taking out that Torb turret now. So unable to get any value from it. Lucky J Fox rotating around as well. And now, really looking like Space Diamonds is trying to just envelop Insidious. Immortality Field already used by Short Stack. Demon Breed trying to push out. And they need to soon because Space Diamonds already almost have one tick on the board, but now things starting to swing in the favor. Hack comes out though for Demon Breed. They go down kind of low, but they are healed back up. They go down very low though now. With this tremendous amount of pressure coming in from Space Diamonds, fair removed by this May Freeze, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Insidious to get back in this fight.
I mean, with the heroes that they selected with the May Torb, you don't really have a lot of ways back in compared to the flanker DPS of Hugh and Toffee. So again, it's the DPS making the difference for both of these teams, but only one is coming out in a positive light. And nobody had to ult for Space Diamonds. They've got 6 online. Oh, this is not good.
No, this is the definition of a snowball right here. And we have got a big one coming for you on Volskaya, I think. If Toffee and Lucky have anything to say about it, they're going to have to do so much. Short Stack pops this window early to try and buy themselves as much time as they can. Shadow Carl comes in, counters with the Coalescence. There's a bomb from from Lucky J Fox. It finds Short Stack in the back line. 2 are down. Javi uses the sound barrier to try and keep the rest of his team alive, but it's just not going to be enough as Toffee doing tremendous work on this Sombra. It looks like Space Diamonds have found their footing in this match, and they are gonna make Insidious fight for every inch that they're gonna get the rest of this series.
Bear jumps up to high ground, takes out Short Stack, no sustain coming out. Javi is forced out on that right side. Hack comes out onto Demon Breed as well. Shadow Carl is a little bit low, but they're getting sustained from that healing orb. There's a bomb coming out from Dr. Psychotic. This has to be it for Insidious.
They've got to make something happen, and the Nanke goes down, but 3 picks coming in short order onto Insidious. Demon Breed able to find one as well.
Wait.
There's the big pulse, though, from Hugh. It doesn't get a kill, but it takes down members of Insidious dangerously low, and now with 1 person on the point, that's going to do it. 4:14 in the time bank for Space Diamonds.
I mean, I know you are thinking the same thing as me right now. Why is Insidious playing Brawl? This is so confusing because not only did they struggle in the mirror previously, so already they're disincentivized from playing it again, but they choose to come out on it instead of the ball comp that has been working for them this entire time. And they get stomped. I mean, this is just such a one-sided series either way, and I think it really is coming off of the back of some of these wider macro team decisions. Right now, Space Diamonds with the momentum, with the clear heads, are making all the right choices, targeting the right players, saving all of the ultimates that they need to go all the way with 4 minutes remaining, and this is a situation that we just saw on Rialto.
Yeah, it really is, and we saw how that ended. And, you know, something that happens a lot of times in these series is when one team finally figures out how to counter the other team is just left without a hope and a prayer. They just can't seem to adjust back the other way. And I feel like that's kind of what we're seeing at this moment. Insidious really on their back foot right now, and the momentum firmly in favor of Space Diamonds.
Honestly, looking at this map, I would not think that Space Diamonds was down in the series. Because that was just that dominant, right? There was 0 moments of doubt, it felt like, for Space Diamonds there. Whereas Insidious, struggling just to get things started for themselves, and already we're seeing a bit of a mirror once again. I do like this from Insidious. It's a different look. It's a lot faster than what they were playing previously, the Brawl comp that was stuck in the corner. As compared to 6-man dive, you can take engages anywhere, but it's really about if Hokage can stay alive long enough, but right now he's getting left at the dry.
Yeah, he goes down very, very low. He is eventually healed back up. And now Insidious rotating into this high ground, just like we saw from Space Diamonds. A little bit different look from them, though, on the defense, since they are opting for this Orisa, and that Orisa getting pushed around. Eventually falls down to the low ground. Dream Psychotic takes a biotic grenade, comes out onto Hokage. They're not going to be able to get their healing back. Dream Psychotic gonna be DMAX now. Demon 3, though, and Edax come up with a couple of big picks there at the last moment. And now, this firmly in favor of Insidious. They're going to cap with a healthy time bank too.
Hokage crucially lived through the hack of Toffee, and when you can't remove the Reaper, you can't remove the engine of this 6-man dive train, and it just chugs right through the defense on first. They're going to take this into second point now with a healthy, hefty time bank, and although they don't have the same amount of ultimates that Space Diamonds had on their own attack, they've got a great look for themselves going in their own right because, again, big time banks was going to allow you to take a lot of fights.
Yeah, it certainly is. And if they can capitalize in a similar way that we saw from Space Diamonds, then this still could be anybody's map right here on Volskaya. We see Insidious starting now to position themselves. Here comes the dive from Demon Breed. Are able to really catch anybody out. EMP, though, does catch 4 members of Insidious. Demon Breed, though, able to take out Bear. Pulse Bomb comes in onto Hokage, though, so now that engine is gone. The car is without its power, as Hugh able to pop off and find another kill onto Short Stack, and without those heals, that's going to be it for Insidious. They're going to have to back off.
The talking point comes true once again. Hokage goes down early. There's really no chance for the 6-man dive to actually get anything done because that is the main source of damage for this entire team. And if you don't have those shotguns firing away on the objective, you're not going to have any chance of winning the fight, it feels like. So Hokage has to play a little bit safer. Maybe try to fight on a different angle. Go a little bit deeper or stay a little bit further back because when he's stacking with the team, he's getting targeted and removed pretty quick.
Yeah, he certainly is. And he has this crucial Death Blossom, which is coming in with his EMP. Here's the EMP right now. Diva Bomb committed to point by Lucky to clear things away. He goes down very low, but he gets the remake kill onto Hokage. Hokage didn't see that one coming down out of the sky. Demon Breed gets slept in the backline now and hacked in the primal form. Bomb comes out from Dream Psychotic, but the hack is there, the EMP from Toffee, and that's going to be what wins this fight.
There was 0 pressure on Shadow Carl and Ananke that entire engage. The Death Blossom comes out from Hokage, doesn't find anything, literally gets a mech slammed down on him and he dies. I mean, again, the Reaper goes down first, so the Brawl comp, or rather the 6-man dive comp, just can't find any damage that they need to go the distance. And again, it's just a repeat of trends where it feels like Insidious is unable to adapt to the changing circumstances. This is a new map, this is a new team, it feels like, for Space Diamonds. This is not the same team we saw in the first 2 maps.
No, it certainly isn't. This is a team that really knows what they are doing now, and they have, once again, I think a pretty healthy looking defense coming up here. They've almost built this nano boost in addition to 3 other ults. Here comes the Coalescence, though, from Short Stack, layering in the heals and damage. Hugh comes in huge, though. That Coalescence is no more. We have a disconnect from Blue Arceus there in the lobby. Never mind. And now there's a Nano Bear on point in monkey form. And that Tesla Cannon working overtime right now, dealing damage in. And that's going to do it once again for Insidious. And what was over 5 minutes on the clock has whittled down to under 3.
Bears, Winston's, Nanos, oh my, it feels like. Just too many things to worry about from the tank line of Space Diamonds there for Insidious. Not able to get a lot of those mid-fight tools, and again, when you walk into a lot of these engages and somebody just goes down immediately on 2CP, there's almost no chance to come back unless if you somehow miraculously turn it around, and miracles are not in the cards for Insidious. They are a team that plays with momentum and dies by momentum, and it feels like they have ran out of momentum on this attack with 0 ultimates, only the EMP online. Toffee's in the better position than Edax though.
Yeah, and I doubt they're going to want to use this EMP. They're going to want to wait for something else. Edax able to take out you, though. This could be the opening they need. The EMP comes out. 3 hacked. 4 on the side of Space Diamonds. And now Lucky able to find value again with the self-destruct. This time taking Demon Breed out of the fight. Bear goes down, though, to Dream Psychotic. And now this fight that's happening just a little bit off point in this neutral ground really starting to heat up. Toffee takes out Hokage, though. And since the respawns heavily favor right now Space Diamonds, that's gonna be it.
Another minute gone, and another ult wasted from Edax's Sombra. That EMP gets absolutely nothing in the face of Toffee and Lucky comboing their ultimates together. And it does feel like the team synergy coming in from Space Diamonds is a little bit tighter compared to Insidious. With this time bank slowly going down, I think the pressure is finally mounting on them in this series, and even though they're ahead 2-1, they can definitely feel Space Diamonds breathing on their necks, trying to get this to 2-2.
Yeah, that they can. Demon Breed forced to use his shield early. It goes down in short order, and they're going to have to back off. Oh, Demon Breed decides to go in, though. He uses that Primal Race, but gets hacked. Pulse Bomb in from Hugh, able to find Javi once again. So now there's just one support online for Insidious. They just built up their nano. They decide to commit it. They think they can still win this fight. Demon Breed now electrifies that Tesla cannon, doing extra damage. But Bear comes back to support their off-tank. And still the picks coming in for Space Diamonds.
There's just nobody that can deal with Hayu with the team comp that Insidious is throwing at them. This Tracer has just been uncontested on every single pulse bomb. Nothing has been getting eaten from Dream Psychotic. Typically, that's something we see out of him in the past.
Yeah.
That Diva has been very capable at dealing with Tracers, but all of a sudden, now is not the case. And now, even with these 3 ultimates, in the face of Toffee's EMP, I don't know if they're going to even be able to get them out in time.
No, me either. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. Insidious starts to come in. Dream Psychotic starts things off with a bomb there on the point. The EMP comes in, though, from Edax. Able to get a couple people out. Demon Breed and Toffee trade Lucky J Fox with the self-destruct. Unable to find any kills, but Javi goes down. Short stack goes down, and with 5 seconds left, there's only a few members of Insidious left. We're going to go to 2-2 here.
Hokage watches as the dream falls apart around him, and not Dream Psychotic. Demon Breed gets hacked on the objective. Nano dropped onto Toffee. It's all just celebratory at this point because we are going to map 5.
Yeah, we have a series on our hands, everybody. This grand finals living up to the name, living up to the hype, living up to what we wanted it to. These two teams, which, by the way, they were the 5th and 6th seeded teams in this tournament. We don't even have anybody in the top 3 that was seeded here in the finals. And so regardless of who wins, this is just such a Cinderella story for each team coming into these grand finals. And it's all going to be decided in one map here very soon.
Map 5 will decide who the slipper fits in this Cinderella story. Both teams trying their absolute hardest to go the distance. And as we go towards the control map type once again, I'm wondering if we're going to see more of that dive coming out from Insidious, because that's what worked for them extremely well in the first 2 maps, where they absolutely dominated. And I really do hope that in some fashion, they're able to pivot back to that. Whether it's through a Brig Ana or a Brig Zen backline as compared to the Mercy that was previously pocketing Edax, I really do feel like their ability to play on an individual level frees up everybody else around them when compared to Space Diamonds, who clearly has their number in the 6v6 game. And Hayu and Toffee doing so much work once again, particularly Hayu on that Tracer. Those sticks on second point, when you're playing 2CP and somebody dies every single fight, you cannot win.
No, you certainly can't. But they have been able to dig deep. They found that mental resilience to be able to claw their way back into the series. And, you know, like you were saying before, Hugh and Toffee really living up to the hype that we had heard beforehand, and starting to carry Space Diamonds out of this terrible hole that they dug themselves into. I can't believe that we are looking at a potential reverse sweep here. And even though Insidious has the map choice, and this, you know, does play into their favor, and I think the map style does as well, momentum still so far in Space Diamond's court. You know, if we had come into this series just based on these last 2 maps, I wouldn't have thought that we would be going to a map 5.
Absolutely agree. And I do have to mention that it's not just the DPS of Space Diamonds, but really something alive.
And I'm not sure if anybody on stream can hear Mintus or not, but we just lost his sound. Yeah, so we get him back in here. I will mention that we do have a swap coming in. So Blue RC is back in for short stacked now on Insidious. So maybe they think that, bringing in the support that was there for the first couple of wins, that's going to be the key to unlocking a little bit more success here on this last map. And I think you're back. Yeah,
Hello.
We have you.
Hi, I think I might have just switched microphones as well. Give me one moment, please.
Of course.
Oh, actually, looks like we're good. Cool. Okay, we're back in business. Sorry for the delay, everybody. My Blue Yeti has been a little bit on the fritz lately, where it just randomly decides to disconnect. Nonetheless, we've got a series on our hands here, Juggle, and I am very excited to see this go the distance because this is what the grand finals is all about. It's not just a test of how good you are compared to the field, but really how good you are compared to yourself. This is a measurement of how much progress you've made, and both of these teams don't want this season to just go to waste and be settled with silver. They want the gold.
Yes, they certainly do, and they are both gunning for it so hard, literally and figuratively. And tell you what, before we get into this final map, we are going to take a short break to give the players time to sort out whatever they need to do for the pick to come in from Insidious. So stick around, we will be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are headed to Lijiang Tower for the final scene of this grand finals for UGC. Insidious and Space Diamonds taking us all the way, and I can't think of a better fitting place for this to end.
Lijiang Tower, the site of many a lore occurrence inside of Overwatch. I'm sure you somehow have some better insight into this because I don't know lore at all, but nonetheless, I think both of these teams coming into this map, there's a lot of different ways to play this, and so far the series has been defined by which team adapts the best. So with three different sub-maps, with three different playstyles that can be adopted at any given moment here, I'm really looking forward to seeing how these teams choose to take the start of each map, because in Control, the first fight is the most important.
Yeah, that's true. It really is. I forget exactly what the statistic is, but if you win the first fight, if you cap first, then chances are you are going to win that map. We are now loaded into Lijiang. Both teams just getting to mess around a little bit while we waited for the lobby to get set up, and we are going to be heading first to Night Market. A lot of different options here, and you know what? I think that Insidious, in the words of Yeatle, are hoping to live by, we don't lose Li Jiang.
We don't, according to Insidious at the very least. Looks like they're going to come out of the gates with what worked for them before. The guy in the sky, Edax on that Pharah, once again, with Blue Arceus back in the lineup, coming in to pocket them on the Mercy pick. So, good choice to swap them back in. Interesting to see that there hasn't been a big adaptation from Space Diamonds, considering that I think swapping Blue Arceus in kind of reveals the hand of Insidious. They're like, okay, the only reason Blue Arceus is probably coming back is to play Mercy, so we should expect to see Echo or Pharah, but instead of choosing some more hit scan, they go back to 6-man dive, which again was punishing them in the past because they didn't have anything to pressure at the Pharah. So with all this freedom above the enemy team, Edax, the weight is on him to perform.
Let's see if he can handle that weight, if his back isn't too sore from the rest of the matchup. Demon Breed rolling in now to the front line. Is there? Edax already gets a pick onto Bear, opening things up for Insidious. Hobby, though, removed from the fight as well by you. So this is a 5v5. It could go either way right now. Like J Fox taking some rockets to the mech, and they are actually removed from it as well. Hokage falls, though, but it is still pick for pick right now. It could go either way. The point now unlocked. Dream Psychotic. The mech now. Blue Arceus trying to pocket them to get them back into that mech as fast as they can, but they are removed from the fight completely. Hobby finds a pick onto Hugh. Says, this time you don't have me, buddy. And point flipped over first to Space Diamonds.
It's a battle between Hayu and Edax, and at the end of the day, it's Space Diamond standing above the pile of corpses that have built up over the first fight. Ananke caught out of position, discorded, focused out by the dive team. Looks like it's finally time for Insidious to make their mark.
Yeah, Hugh trying to find something with that pulse bomb. I ain't able to get anybody, but Shadow does find Hobby, and now the support line of Insidious is gone. Demon Breed does get a pick onto Toffee, but it's not going to be enough. And this capture percentage just ticking up slowly and slowly in favor of Space Diamonds.
I mean, you got to keep that backline safe if you want to have a chance to go the distance, especially when you don't have point control. I mean, Space Diamonds are more than happy to trade kills back and forth while the percentage is ticking up for them, but Insidious needs to make sure everybody survives if they want to have a chance to win this in the long run. Shadow Carl with this Coalescence now is going to make it 10 times harder for Edax and Blue Arceus to get into this fight, so it has to be off the tanks and Hokage to make the difference.
Unfortunately, the tanks and Hokage have all the ultimates in Insidious's pocket. We see Hokage already used the Pulse Bomb, isn't able to find anything. Dream Psychotic coming in with the self-destruct now. Hokage gets the pick on the Hugh, though, winning out that Tracer duel. And now Shadow Curl pops that Coalescence to really push Insidious back. Demon Breed takes the fall to Lucky J Fox, and the rest of Space Diamonds shore up that fight win.
Don't get me wrong, Edax is doing great here, but it's not enough to overcome the pure compositional difference. It looks like Space Diamonds just don't care about the Pharah in the sky anymore. They don't care if he's on Echo anymore. They just want to go towards the backline, and that's exactly what they've done every fight, and they're going to do it again with this EMP. Here it comes.
Yeah, and it catches several members. They fall very, very quickly. Lucky Fox finding a pick with that self-destruct again onto Edax, and now that overtime is ticking. It is a 4v6 for Insidious, and that is a tough hill to climb up. Can they make it happen? The bombs are on point. The minefield is there. It does get a pick, but the picks, once again, coming in so much in favor of Space Diamonds. They are primed to take this first point, this first round of Li Jiang to decide everything for the UGC finals.
Are we on the cusp of a reverse sweep in the finals, Juggle? I mean, this is legendary stuff here. We might actually see the full sweep coming back around for Space Diamonds after things looked so dire for them at the beginning of this series. The fortune has completely turned. Momentum has been firmly in their favor for 2 maps, and after 100 zeroing on the first control sub-map, as we go back towards a brawl compositional map, where both teams are likely to mirror, that's going to likely favor Space Diamonds like it did before. Oh man, this is not looking good for Insidious.
No, their backs are now against the wall. They have not been in this position yet, this matchup, but now they are there. Space Diamond's very comfortable with it at this point, and now it's Insidious's time to shine. They have to get this win, or else their season is over.
Both teams with the perfect mirror. Junk Sim on the DPS lineup. but it's Space Diamonds that get control first. They're setting up turrets. Looks like everybody on Insidious has to turn around, and it's left Edax out to dry. He goes very low. The lamp comes out first from Blue Arceus, so that's a resource advantage for Space Diamonds. Can they capitalize and flip it?
Let's see if they can. The fight is starting to move on a point as the control point is going to unlock in about 5 seconds here. We've got Lucky dealing in damage from the stairs, but it's Hugh once again on the jump this time, who's able to find a pick onto Hokage, and now it is firmly in favor of Space Diamonds. They've got control at this point.
Uh-oh, I mean, I've seen this one before. The team that gets momentum tends to take it the distance, and now with this tire online from Hayu, this guy has been on point no matter what hero he's on, and now his work is cut out for him. He's got the insta-kill ability. All that Space Diamonds has to do is force out the lamp from Blue Arceus early, and that's going to allow Hayu to literally rip the tire through everybody on Insidious.
Yeah, Javi's hoping that he can build up that sound barrier to keep his team alive through that tire, because after that immortality field, that is going to be their only hope, but they're still a ways away. And there's the tire. It's coming in. It's searching. It's trying to find somebody, and it does. Javi goes down. They don't have the sound barrier. Blue Arceus wasn't able to get the immortality field up in time, and because of that, the rest of Insidious was falling.
I mean, Blue Arceus got it out, though, but Javi just didn't stand in it, and he just goes down.
Oh, no.
You lose your Lucio, you lose the disengage, and that allows everybody on Space Diamonds to walk up and stagger Dream Psychotic. More percentage now, and only one ultimate committed for an easy fight win. I mean, we talked about dire straits. This is a new low for Insidious.
Yeah, they have got to make something work out here. They've got the ultimates to make something of this. But can they overcome what Space Diamonds has in store for them? They have control over the point. Here comes the tire.
No tire.
It's removed from the fight. Toffee able to get the photon barrier out now on point. That's going to make this push so much harder. And that wall from Blue Arceus is largely useless. But now we have the photon barrier from Hokage coming in. So it's because they were able to outlast Space Diamonds, they may have a shot at turning this around as the point starts to capture in their favor. But Lucky J Fox has the bomb out. Bear, though, with the shatter onto Blue Arceus. Javi not quite in time with the heat. But Demon Breed comes in with the charge to a non-K, taking them out of the fight. But still, the picks from Space Diamonds are just too much. 95% on the clock when finally Insidious has control, but how long are they going to have it? These spawns are coming, kills, the spawns are coming back now in favor of the Space Diamonds. They've got 95, 97%. Can anyone even touch? It's up to Edax. They're able to just get their feet on point in time. Demon Breed now on the Wrecking Ball. Back to try and stall this out. They get a slam off onto Toffee, but the kill's still coming forward heavily in favor of Space Diamonds. I think that we are about to see the result of a reverse sweep here. The members of Insidious just can't stay alive. Demon Breed spinning to win with all of his might, but it's just not going to be in the cards as Shadow Crawl finds Javi. And now Demon Breed's out of the fight. The overtime is clicking over, and with nobody left to stall out, there's just two coming on the point. Hokage gets a kill. And they barely touch, but that's going to do it. And your UGC Grand Finals winners are the Space Diamonds.
The reverse sweep is done. Oh my god, Juggle. Insidious had it in the bag. There was moments there on the third map where it felt like we had already seen the conclusion of the series. Eichenwald looked like a wrapped-up deal up until that self-destruct coming in from Space Diamonds. Lucky J Fox really was the single player that turned around the fortunes of Space Diamonds. And at the end of the day, I don't want to just give credit to the off-tank player. I want to give credit to the whole team of Space Diamonds, because every single one of them had some kind of moment that they stepped up and made the difference in a lot of those fights, whether it was the supports staying alive, getting their cooldowns out, keeping the DPS and the tanks up, whether it was the ults coming out from the tanks, whether it was the performances of the DPS. Everybody on Space Diamonds at the end of the day deserves a round of applause for this reverse sweep.
Yeah, it was incredible play, and the mental strength that once again it takes to come back from being down 2-0, not just down 2-0, but like down 2-0 to some rolls as well, to come back from that dominant of a loss and to be able to bring it back in the grand finals and win it under all of this pressure. Just tremendous work from Space Diamonds. Has to be congratulated. And Insidious, you put up one hell of a fight, but it just wasn't in the cards this time around. You all are a phenomenal team, so I can't wait to see what comes next for you, what tournaments you enter into, because you are a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think that this is the last story for you. I think number 2 is going to turn to number 1 in the future, but we do still have to congratulate Space Diamonds. What a play from them. What incredible Overwatch.
I'm privileged to be able to cast it alongside you, Juggle. I'm very glad I managed to make it to this cast today because this was a capstone moment for both of these teams. And even though Space Diamonds comes out on top, like you talked about, there's plenty of room down the road for growth. I think there was a lot of learning opportunities for Insidious as well. We talked about their capability of learning from the past, using some of those mistakes that they made and turning them into lessons for the future. I think this is another one of those times. You can't just look at it as the finals and say, hey guys, we lost, time to give up. This was such an entertaining match to watch because of how close it was. I mean, these teams were very evenly matched regardless of the outcome of a lot of those maps. It felt like Insidious was just inches away from times where they could actually beat Space Diamonds and take home the series. So I just really hope that they don't get discouraged and they come back 10 times stronger next time we see them.
Me too. And until next time, we are going to have to take off. But before we do that, do you have any final words for everybody out there, Amintus?
What a game, huh? Very glad to have had the privilege of casting, and I hope everybody watching alongside at home had such a great time, similar to how Juggle and I did, because I could tell we were having fun with it.
Yes.
So I hope that it came through in the broadcast. Very glad to have the opportunity to cast again for Killshot Esports. So really just thankful for this opportunity as usual. And nonetheless, I can't wait to see you guys next time.
Yeah, so thank you all out there for watching. Thank you to everybody at Killshot. Thank you, MB, for being the producer tonight and for so many others during this tournament. My name, once again, Warren Juggle God Hammond. This is Amintus right beside me. Thank you all for tuning in. GG's, and see you next time.